Hello, hello, hello.
Gang, gang.
We are back again. So, happy Sunday, first off.
Yep, yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened last night, but everything in the universe was conspiring against our live. We tried for like a good hour and a half to get back online last night. It was not happening. But from the
At all.
phones to the computers, we was about to get into it and it just wouldn't go. So,
Right.
we're here back again.
Gang, gang.
So hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good
What up?
evening, good
Y'all already know. Thumb it
afternoon,
up. Y'all already know. Throw it
wherever
up.
y'all at. Hello, both on lives. Hello,
Yep.
hello, hello.
Thumb it up. Thumb it up. Gang, gang. Gold Sack gang. What's up, everybody?
Yes. So, for y'all that didn't catch my live yesterday, this is God King TV. We go back from a few years. We met at the strip club. He
Yeah.
was security. I was one of the waitresses,
Yeah.
and we got a little bit into astrology, went our separate paths, and now we're here again
Yeah.
on the live, and we plan on continuing a journey into astrology, sexology, Tantra, all that stuff because
Mm-hmm.
I'm going into that route now. So that is going to be my realm of studying, and I pretty much have an expert here.
Hey.
So yeah. So God King TV,
Yeah.
astrology. What else did I
Mm-hmm.
write in that damn caption? Astrology,
Tantra.
Tantra, and
Occult.
occultism.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I would like to know, we've been talking to each other over the past 2 days about all types of
Yeah.
stuff. And shout out to all my Patreon members because, this type of topics is a little taboo. And we know YouTube is a really family friendly channel. So, we can't go too deep in certain things. And that is specifically why I've created my Patreon group called
Gang,
Sexology
gang.
101. So y'all go look at that and check that out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So we're going to touch in lightly
Thumb it up.
about this whole Tell me exactly what occultism is and how you even got into it,
Mm-hmm.
and just what is it?
Occultism is another word for that which is hidden. So occult means hidden, or
Hidden.
it means esoteric in nature. So a lot of times when we talk about occult knowledge, occult means hidden knowledge. So it could be stuff that's in plain sight of the masses, but the masses will not necessarily understand or know exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? Until they understand exactly that, hey, when you deal with occult knowledge, what's happening is that you're dealing with things that most people would not know about unless they go to the deeper parts of the psyche or the deeper parts of spiritual knowledge, which means that you're going to have to take an inner journey anyway to get there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gang, you know what I'm saying? And so what it means is that when you deal with occult knowledge, you're dealing with things that most people are scared to talk about.
Like their shadow sides,
Shadow
their
side,
dark sides.
right?
Yeah.
So, and what I want people to also know off top is this: do not confuse occult knowledge for what is called New Age now. Please just know that.
So
So
what's the difference?
New Age is more this fluffy diet, um, synthesized version of what they are trying to give people and give it to them and make it pass for what occult knowledge is or metaphysical. So New Age would be, oh, let's talk about chakras. Yeah, chakras is cool,
Yeah. Yeah.
but chakras ain't dealing with no occult knowledge.
Right.
And see, occult knowledge is the stuff that's gonna scare motherfuckers or
like
scare people.
like what to just we're just gonna touch lightly
Mm-hmm.
on that. What are you talking about, like scary? Because I know about chakras. I've been
Mm-hmm.
studying a little bit into that. I know about the root chakras and the heart chakras and all
Mm-hmm.
that. But when it comes to occultism, it's a little taboo because people don't want to talk about the things that really make them who they are,
Right.
and why they do the things they
Right.
do, and the evil stuff that people don't want to talk about. But then when you think about
Right.
it, you got these movies that cater to people's shadows,
Right.
and that's the reason why it's always packed out when they talk
Mm-hmm.
about the evil side of stuff or the so-called
Mm-hmm.
bad part of stuff that people in real life don't want to
Mm-hmm.
talk about. But when it comes to fantasy, like
Mm-hmm.
movies, like, I'm in that realm, I'm an
Right.
actress,
Right.
it's okay to be that evil side
Right.
on television,
Right.
but not in real life. So
Right.
how go ahead.
Okay. So one of the many gifts that I have when it comes to dealing with occult knowledge is to be able to take this complexity of what occult knowledge is and try to break it down, right? So I'm gonna give them little pieces of it, right? So let's just talk about the shadow side, like you said, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like to deal with the shadow side because it's easier to deal with the new age love and light. You hear everybody, oh, love and light, peace and love and light. Yeah.
All the happy juju
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. and when it comes to the dark side of things, the occult side, which is hidden, most people don't like to deal with that. So the shadow side is something that you do need.
Yeah.
But everything in this universe is complementary. So there's always yin and yang, there's always good and bad, there's always light and dark, right? So when people understand that new age shit sounds more like just the light side. And the light side has a glamour to it, which is what makes it so appealing to people, and they think that it's just all positivity. No, you need that dark side that sparks the initiatory process in terms of going down to who you are, truly who you are, transformation.
Everybody has a dark side.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Even preachers have a dark side.
Yes, especially, and those are the ones.
Especially preachers, actually.
You feel me?
Well, we're not gonna go there, but yes. Basically, okay. So I'm gonna put it to you like this, right? My real personality comes out on my YouTube, because you can't really be fake on YouTube because it's video and it's raw format unless you just try to be somebody else, and then the people that really follow you understand and they know. So I've already told my followers a long time ago in one of my YouTubes that Arabella S. Ruby is a character. She is basically my shadow side that I put on a pedestal on my social media platforms. But when you talk to me here, I look like Arabella S. Ruby, but I'm really Sherelle, the person here. But the thing is, I'm not afraid to highlight my shadow to the world, because that's who I am deep down inside. But a lot of people are scared to highlight that because of what people are going to say about them and judge them. So especially in the Black community, unfortunately, we are put in a place of saying, oh, well, you can't do that because this is good and this is bad. But what is it that is good and bad about ourselves that we can't just show to the world? You know what I'm saying? Why can't you show both of your personalities, which we all have multiple dual personalities? No person is just one personality. You know what I'm saying? Why is it so taboo that if you want to believe in something, and it doesn't have to be Christianity or religion or whatever, that we're looked down upon? Like, tell me, especially coming from you, in dealing with this, and you have a lot of male followers just like I do, how do you embrace that dark side in a world that only wants you to be part of the light?
The reason why that's important, that's a good question, is because, like, when you understand the world, you understand that this dimension is based off of glamour. And that's a very important thing that people got to understand. Glamour is what keeps you here. Glamour is what appeals to your senses. Understand this. This is occult shit. It appeals to your senses. So when it appeals to your senses, everything after that is, you can make it what you want it to be, because we're in the physical dimension. So that's how, like, when you was breaking down your fantasy self, your archetypical other side of who you are, what's very important for people to understand is that in this realm, when you're dealing with the light and the dark, the reason why they want you to stay dealing with the light side is because the light side is the diet side. It's the diet side of glamour. That glamour is, oh, everything's happy. Oh, how you doing today, Bob? Oh, I'm doing good. But deep down inside, Bob is
fuck you, bitch.
You feel me? Deep down inside, Bob is like, fuck this fucking job, fuck the fucking everything.
But we don't want to say that.
And so motherfuckers think it's Pleasantville. And so motherfuckers be like, no, I'm doing all right. But deep down inside, Bob's like, I'm about to shoot all this motherfucking shit up. Because he's stressed the fuck out from trying so hard to keep everything contained within this one side of the glamour of life. And the reality is that's not what it is. So think about how real life is happening outside of this matrix or the simulation.
And we talk about this on a Sunday too.
Sunday, the day of it, supposed to. During Leo season, that's why the light is about expression right now. Why is that important? That you cannot contain just everything in one facet of life, calling it the light side or the positive, just the positive side. You need that other side. Because if Bob was to say, hey Bob, how you doing today? Well, I'm not doing too good today, Jim. Oh, what's going on, Jim? Man, look, man, this motherfucking bullshit. I ain't getting enough fucking money at this goddamn job. Oh, you need a raise? Well, let's go talk. Let's see. Now you have this duality that is at play where you can start to harmonize things. Oh, Bob, you need some money? Okay, well, let's give him a fucking raise. Now he said something about his discomfort that allows him to move to another space of awareness and consciousness. And that only happens when you are able to utilize both sides. So if somebody's never being real with themselves by not expressing the dark side, they're going to implode on themselves and it's going to affect other people. And it causes a ripple effect in everybody. Because if a motherfucker always happy, and you're like, now don't confuse being always, somebody's being positively trained to want to just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
That's fine. Because you got people who are also polarized the opposite way of they're always negative. You're like, why are you always negative?
That's true.
So you have to understand these polarities are always at play. So you got to kind of see how they always oscillate. And when they oscillate from positive to negative, a person who is usually aware of both sides and they can embrace both sides, they're going to be what you would consider somebody who is real and that you can fuck with and you can trust that that energy is going to be tuned to the reality, which is, hey, man, that's some fucked up shit. Or, hey, man, I'm feeling good today. Man, let's go turn the fuck up and have fun.
Yeah.
You can have fun with both of those. Right. But when somebody's always fucking... And there's a term for it called toxic positivity, right? That's considered when somebody's trying to ignore.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. When they're like, they're trying to be too positive all the time, but then you know they out here faking it.
Yes.
That should be killing me too.
Yes.
I don't understand it. You know what I just thought about? A lot of the times, most people in the world have on this mask, right? This mask to the world. Everybody, they have on this face and this attitude of what they want you to see. But when it comes to the sex part, you can't get really nasty with somebody unless they're cool with your shadow. So what it is it's almost like two shadows talking to each other to make sure that they match. That's the reason why one time I think I heard Neo say something about our demons don't match, or our demons don't play well with each other or match or something, and that's exactly true. When you having sex with somebody, it's pretty much like both of your evilness joining each other in like like occultism matrimony for a moment, even if it's just for one night stand or long term. But for long term, y'all got to be synced for like something really deep right there. So yeah, if you could touch on that.
And let me explain this. This is the part that where the deep sides of the occult goes even more. Sex is everything. Sex is everything.
Sex is everything.
And this is the part that a lot of people don't like to understand about how deep.
Tell about it.
Occult knowledge goes.
Go into it.
Sex is life. It's creation. It's everything in this universe.
But people make us feel bad about even talking about it.
But that's because the people who are not understanding of how deep the occult goes, they don't understand the depths and complexities of what sex is. So the masses are manipulated into thinking that sex is strictly the physical aspect of procreation. And what people don't understand, there's a difference between understanding what procreation is and the complexities of what sex is. Sex is found in every facet and aspect of the universal creation that we call life. So when you think of music is sex, but you wouldn't think of it that way. Alchemy is sex, but these are words that are codified for people to understand things on a certain level. Now, when it comes to just sex, let's talk about this, because I like what you said about the dark side. Now, when it comes to sex, this is something that's going to blow people's mind. Your primal urges in nature are very normal. The depths that you understand them on is what's not normal, because most people do not know about sex. They haven't been taught about sex. They know innately how to fuck. You can watch porn and be like, oh, I like that move, I'm gonna try that. Oh, next week I'm gonna try that. Oh, I'm gonna hit it with that. But where does the the depths of it trickle down into your consciousness to where you can utilize this to elevate yourself, which is why Tantra is actual an occult practice of understanding how to use Tantra for healing, manifestation, as well as tuning into another person, emerging, and being able to get to a point. This is why sex is so deep, where if you start to have sex with a person, your body starts to morph into little parts of them, and you start to take on things that becomes their psyche. They become your psyche. All these things are so important because we're talking about an alchemical process that happens through the merging of these two bodies, right?
Yeah.
Now, but to what you said about the sexual part of the dark side of people, that dark side of a person that you find to be attractive, what you call fetishes or what you call preferences. Freud said in this book, The Psychology of Love and Sex, everybody is a product of things that happen in their childhood to bring them to fruition to where they are. And when you understand things on an occult level, this is the hardest part that people got to understand. This is the part that ruffles people's feathers. There's nothing good or bad in the universe.
Nope. Yep.
There's nothing good or bad in the universe. It's only relative to your perspective based on how does it affect you. And from that point right there, you deem things either good or bad. Why? Because if it benefits you, you think it's good. If it hinders you or you perceive it as something that's an obstacle or opposition to you, you deem it as bad. Now, why is that important? Because when you grow up in the world, you don't necessarily have to have been traumatized in a bad way to get to a space where you start to understand certain things about your sexuality as you get older. But what you call preferences are so deep into the psyche that you find things that you're attracted to based on complexities of sex. So for some people, you may be like, "Ooh, I don't like this in sex," right? Like you might find somebody sexually attractive, but there's certain things about them that you be like, I wouldn't have sex with this person, right?
Yeah.
Those dark sides is what's at play. It's not the light sides, like you said, it's the dark side.
It's darks talking to each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so for somebody may be like, "Ooh, I'm into BDSM or spanking." You may deal with a guy who might be like, "I'm not into spanking women. I can't do that." You be like, "You pussy ass nigga, you don't want to fucking spank me, nigga, and choke me, nigga. What type of fucking man are you? You're a fucking pussy." And he's like, "But I'm a man. I just don't like. I don't." And you be like, "What the fuck is up with this? Where's your dark side at, nigga? Where's?"
But the thing is, though, what I have found out, a lot of people that. Here's what I have found out through dealing with my freak self, a freak nature
Speak on it. We got time.
And my nature, and I have been a fendom for a long time. I just never told nobody about it, but I was doing it for a long time. Usually what happens is the people that say stuff like, "Oh, I'm not into that," or "I don't like that," or "How could you?" Those be the number one people that wish they could have that nasty stuff done on them secretly on the inside. So I have found out the more that people talk bad about something, they really want to be a part of it. Unfortunately, but that's through knowledge of years of studying men and being deep into sex like I have been. So I don't know. It's like the thing is, it's like a reverse psychology thing almost. It's like I can see people's dark side before I even see their mask. I don't know what it is. Like I pick up on it and I can tell what they like in the bedroom. It's a weird gift, but I don't tell nobody. But that's how I am so good at what I do. But now I'm on the opposite side of that because I don't do that stuff no more. It's more of a learning and a teaching aspect now for me to understand people more, to help them with their sexuality, with their dark side. All of this stuff comes into it. And what I'm trying to explain to y'all is that it's not good or bad. It's not. It's just energies, and it's just understanding who you are. Because people will be a lot freer in this world if they stop condemning themselves for what they naturally like. Like if you like to get your dick sucked from the back, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why can't you express that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or the girl that you with, she gonna know if she's really tapped in and tuned in into your dark side.
Right.
So yeah.
And to that point, That is the part that fucks up the way people understand things in this reality. Is because people start to constrict and limit what is sex and what type of sex you can have. And this is the part of the occult knowledge that is why it's not given to the masses, because the masses have been conditioned to go about things a certain type of way, and then they bring morality into it. And you got to understand, morality is a construct that keeps you immobilized, and you pretty much learn to have an atrophied mind because you don't go outside of what you think is safe in terms of boundaries. And this is why sex is life and creation. There is no boundaries in sex and life and creation. There is no boundaries.
Yeah, 'cause they're everywhere.
And that is a hard concept for a normal human being to understand. And so when you put that complex type of conversation into this bowl, and then you mix it with the occult, and you tell motherfuckers that there is no good or bad, people will try to rationalize that, and they will ask questions. So you saying this is not good or bad? Motherfucker, there ain't shit here good or bad. And until you can get that into your mind, it's only relative and personal to you. And with that, people do not understand that in order to understand how to leave this planet, your heart has to be light as a feather, one. Two, you have to learn to break attachments to this physical reality, because why? One, you are not your body.
No.
So people don't understand that sex is electromagnetic energy. And when you have sex, you're creating frictions and you're charging up negative reverse polarities. The feminine, the masculine are complementary. And they work in tandem to charge up the body. People do not understand that these are high levels of exercises that works to bring you to a more union with your partner as well as yourself. Because what you're doing is you're learning to love yourself more when you can create a balance with somebody you do love, and you fuck with them and you want to fuck them and you like to have fun. So like you said, if a dude be like, yeah, I like to get my dick sucked in the back. Okay, shawty, if you ain't going to do it, I need somebody who going to do it.
Yeah. And you need to let them know up front.
You need to let them know.
Like, there's no playing here.
You know what I'm saying?
You said something to me that I want you to touch on a little bit. You said your heart needs to be as light as a feather before you leave this earth. Like, I don't even know what that means, but it sounds like it means something
some
good.
Hard ass shit. It's hard.
Go ahead and touch on that a little bit. What you talking about?
So in many different cultures, they talk about it, but one that most people know more readily is the Kemetic culture, or ancient Egypt. And we have what is called Mayat. Mayat is balance. Mayat will also be Libra in astrology. But Mayat is balance, and the heart has to be weighed on a scale. When you leave, when you go through the underworld or the duat, you have to be able to have your heart laid on the scale. And they talk about the negative confessions of Mayat, but what that means is that you cannot leave this place until you realize, going back to what we said earlier about glamour. This universe is a very cold ass simulation to make you think that you are you. This is where the ego, the body, the things that you think is important to you and significant in terms of you staying here, all of that stuff is what will keep you here, because as long as you think you are a human, they will keep you here. This is why you have to learn to know that you are a co-creator or a co-god or whatever you want to use the term that makes people feel comfortable. You are not your body. So what you are here to do is experience amazing things in the gross dimension, which means that you pretty much came down here to have a job to do. You wanted to fulfill your wishes and desires. Now from that, your heart has to be light as a feather, because there's why you get distracted with things, good and bad things. Something good will happen. You ride these waves of cycles, right? Yeah. When things are going good, you're going to beat that velocity at some point where things are going to start going bad. And those are things that brings you back from a certain reality to kind of keep you in this balance of how are you going to be able to be comfortable with. When things are going good, you can detach from that too. And when things are going bad, you can detach from that too and know that it's not going to be bad forever. It's going to be a point where it's going to be bad, then it's going to get good again. And then when it's good, you're like, why I can't stay good? Why does it have to get bad? Because you have to learn to detach from both sides. But what do you learn in the process of detaching, right? You learn that if I can detach and I don't allow things to keep me here in terms of holding grudges, and that none of this is real, but we're all playing a part, then I can leave here with the lessons that I was supposed to learn, the things that was cultivating my soul and waking my soul up. And so when you leave here, you say, hey, I didn't do all those bad things here that are quote unquote bad. I didn't do that. the body did, because I'm not my body.
Right.
The spirit is the animation that makes you think that you're having a series of events that never happened and happen at the same time. And you didn't do none of that. I didn't smack that bitch up. No, I didn't shoot this nigga. That nigga didn't do this. No. These were events to shock the soul, to wake you up, to keep you reminded in this middle of this transitory state that you are here for a mission. And you are not your body. Your body is not you. You have things that wake up your soul, and you can let all of that go and detach from it and say, my heart's light as a feather. I ain't got no beef with nobody here. I love everybody. Because why? Love is the only thing that can keep you going to the depths of figuring out who you are. When something seems good or bad, it's the universe telling you, hey, I love you.
Yeah.
I love you so much that I put you through some shit that you think is bad because it actually was good.
And love is the highest frequency that we need to be on. A lot of times what I have realized is, and even in myself, when I try to be cold and hard towards somebody, all you're doing is hurting yourself, because you're putting yourself at the lowest vibrational frequency that you can be on, because the world survives on love. And I'm not just talking about sex. I'm talking about all different forms and types of love. So like even the hardest dudes, they'd be like, oh, I don't care, fuck that bitch or whatever, or fuck him, whatever. They are hurting the most because they're missing love out of their life. And that includes the light and the dark side. And like, especially, it's like, even now, it's like, you know, in my life, ever since I was a young child, I've been surrounded by nothing but men, nothing but hard men too. So like growing up, that came off on me, on my vibration. So I was really hard growing up, but it wasn't me internally, but it was just the people that I was around. I was soaking it up. But as I got older, I learned that I'm supposed to be truly who I am in my heart, to heal their heart. Well, not heal them for them, because you can only heal yourself. Yeah, but it is my purpose. One of my purposes on this earth is to be the light and the dark for other men to see me and say, hey, I know what you feel, because I felt what you felt earlier on in life. But my job here is to project nothing but love. Even if I'm in a dark place in my mind, I'm still going to come out of it, because I am a product of pure light. So yeah, it's just the love. Talk to the brothers about holding that negative vibration that you in, that you know you're really not supposed to be in that. But as far as like, it does have to do with sex and love. But tell me how you can soak up somebody that's in a low vibration sexually, and you can get that in your psyche and you hold on to it or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's real. And so that goes back to just talking about how when you do fuck with somebody, you do enmesh yourself with them and start to take on certain characteristics.
So hold on a second. This is what I want y'all to understand, fellas. This is more for my Patreon, but we're going to touch on it lightly. Having sex with somebody is deeper than just having sex. So go ahead. Go ahead.
And so to that point, when you deal with people, this is why it's very important to understand the shadow side of people as well. Because when you do that, you do have a choice. Okay, I see you've been through that. Okay, do I want to entangle myself in that? If you feel like going on that roller coaster, go ahead. See what happens, right? But what happens is you learn over time, the more you entangle with that person or how you deal with them on that level, certain things start to bring you down or suck your energy. So you got two things that can happen when you're dealing with people. You got people who can be a succubus, and they can drain your energy, and they don't give you life. You're trying to give them life. So what you're doing is actually trying to put life into them sexually. You're trying to use the sexual energy to motivate them, to give them vitality, to give them the stimulation of creative energy. So let's say you're the one who's more positively charged, more creative, more spiritually in tune with yourself. You're thinking that, okay, if this person is receptive to it, not sucking it out and it's not going nowhere, if they're receptive to it and they're using that to cycle through their own body, it brings a light to them. But when they're sucking it out of you, they're trying to dim your light without even knowing it. They're sucking you dry. And you're wondering, where's my power and my vitality going?
Is that the reason why sometimes when after you have sex, you think you feel good, but you feel damn near drained. And you feel sometimes you feel suicidal. I've been there. I felt,
Yeah.
of course I didn't do nothing, but
Right.
what I'm saying is after I had sex with a certain person,
Right.
I'd be like, yo, I feel like shit.
Mm-hmm.
So go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
That speaks to the fact that if you're with somebody who don't know how to take that energy that you're giving them, if they're not aware of this, they don't even know what they're doing. They won't even know what they're doing. They won't even know that they're draining your energy and causing you to deplete yourself to a degree. Because sexually, you can do two things. You can either raise somebody up, or you can pretty much have your energy drained. They bring you down, so they're siphoning that from you. That's the part that's hard and that's cold to understand. Because when you get to a point where they keep draining you so much, you'll be like, why the fuck am I feeling crazy? Like you said, you'll feel so depleted, and you wouldn't know that it's your partner draining you.
They're taking the whole life.
They're taking it all out of you. And two things that happen. Somebody be like, oh, they're glowing, but they're still in the same fuck shit they're in, but they're taking all your light and they're glowing.
Yeah.
But they're siphoning you, and you're like over here like on life support, not knowing that you're giving them all your goodies, goddamn squirtle gang, goddamn gold sack gang. You're giving them all the good shit.
Right, but then again, they think after they have a nice nap or a recharge that let me do it again. And then you feel the same way again, or you feel even worse. And it's like, why do we keep doing it to ourselves? Like, why does that keep happening? So
somebody saying, can you mess with a succubus but not have your energy depleted? The thing is this.
Yeah.
When you are dealing with, and this is why I don't suggest motherfuckers until you understand Tantra. You're playing a dangerous game, because what happens is this. The reason why I try to tell guys to understand that NoFap is the beginning of entry level into Tantra. Because if you're depleting your own energy by yourself, imagine what's going to happen when you deal with somebody who does that for a living, consciously or unconsciously, draining your energy. You're not ready to play that game. Because two, if you cannot ejaculate and understand how to do this process where you know how to orgasm but not give up your sexual seed, your semen, your nut, or whatever you want to call it, that is the physical essence that drains you. But your sexual energy can be drained as well. So you don't have to necessarily bust a nut to not get your energy drained. They can still drain your energy. But if you don't understand the high levels of Tantra where you're in a physical match, the bedroom is a dojo. So if you can wrap your mind around it, if you are dealing with a succubus, they're coming to drain you. If you're not ready to understand how to reverse that, or even deal with those aspects of where you can drain them if you want to, you can do it. But you have to know how to go into that battle, because it's a battle. Because they can drain you whether they get you to bust a nut or not. Because sexual energy is sexual energy.
So basically, am I understanding correctly that basically the man, let's just say we're in a position here that you have a woman that really ain't about nothing but to take your power from you, okay? So the man here, let's just say he's a Fortune 500 CEO, and maybe he's not married, maybe he's divorced, but he has all this power within him, and he maybe gets a prostitute for the night. Are you telling me almost like the man's sperm is like golden seeds?
Yep.
And she's taking that power from him. So yeah, that's what you're telling me. So you're telling me the man pretty much has the gold within
gold sack, baby.
He said gold sack, that's his terminology, gold sack. So you're telling me that the man has all this power right here, and the woman, of course, a woman, what do? They come on to the man, and they soak and they squeeze up from the man. So basically what the woman is doing is taking the power from the man, and that's the reason why he's drained all the time. So what you're telling me is it does make a difference on who you have sex with, because the wrong person can drain all of the power and all of the life out of you, but a right woman can transfer maybe that power back to you. Tell me the difference between.
So
hold on. Okay, tell me the difference between having sex with a woman that you're pretty much in a relationship or in love with, than a one night stand, but the man is still in a powerful position. How does which woman affect him in the long term?
Now that's a complex one to a degree.
Well, you ain't gotta go too deep.
But I ain't gonna go too deep.
No,
but I wanna. The reason why I wanna kind of make sure I cover a certain basis is because I want people to understand how deep all this stuff goes. I'm not gonna go too deep, but I'm gonna explain it on a occult level from both angles on how this works.
Okay.
And why it's important. And this is where finding the type of women is going to be key for a man to understand how deep this goes. If he can have the woman who is the woman that he can love and feel good about, and she's not out here pretty much trying to destabilize him, all these type of things, right? And she's on a certain level, he feels she's
on
chaste.
She's on the. I always tell my gentlemen that if the woman that you're with, they're either going to push you forward or they're going to pull you back. Is it true? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So
I just had to make sure for myself. I'm not telling y'all the wrong fucking information, because I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Now, what would be dope is if there is the woman who pushes you further, right, but has the sexual nature of a $2 motherfucking Thai whore. That's what you want.
Say that one more time.
You ideally want a woman. This is why they use those terms, freak in the sheets and lady in the streets, because you want a woman who is somebody who can push you forward spiritually, mentally, and every essence of that. And then you want her to also be a $2 motherfucking Bangkok whore on the street. Do whatever, like just turn the fuck up, because
why do you want
the
that?
reason why is because the woman, and this is the realms of the sexual energy. The woman is polarized to have the negative charge. The man is polarized to have the positive. This is why the vagina is receiving. Right. Because what happens is women want your heart first. They want to give you less. They want sex last, or they want to give you. They want your heart with 50 baht. Yeah, you know the currency. And men want to fuck first, and we'll give you our heart last. So the aspects of Tantra that helps you get both of those, where you don't feel like you're being cheated and she doesn't feel like she's being cheated, is when you work through those high levels of Tantra. But what happens is when you can get a woman who does everything a man likes sexually, sometimes what happens is a man can get that in one package. A lot of the times, men, even in high places, this is what you'll see. You'll see the men marry a different type of woman than the woman he's sleeps with, fucks with on the side, the prostitute chick,
that's
right?
Gonna be
the
a whole
woman,
nother topic,
but I ain't. That's why I ain't gonna give him too deep. It's because there's a different dynamics that happens when a man can feel comfortable with the woman that he does all this stuff with, and she also feeds him, nourishes him, and he could have that back. Because what happens is you are complementing each other's energy. Going back to the dark side shit, the demon side of shit, or the dark side of yourself. If she's nasty, but she also has this other side when y'all come back out of the dojo and she brings life. You see what I'm saying?
I feel like that happens more because the women might not.
Oh, they said they can't hear me. Oh, it's muted. No, I don't know what happened. Let me see.
Audio cut out.
No, I don't know what happened. I hope y'all can hear me. It's back in.
Okay. No. So, that's crazy because.
Yeah.
Damn, I forgot what I was about to say. But so basically.
They said repeat what I just said.
Damn,
I don't know where I was at, but
it was flowing. We don't know exactly what happened.
They said they missed it all.
It's okay. It's okay because they have my YouTube to go to as well.
Yeah.
So basically, the main difference between having sex with a woman that's going to pretty much take your energy, a succubus, and another woman is one's going to give you life back to you, the same life that you gave her from your gold sack.
Yeah, did.
Okay, and the other one is going to take it and try to put herself higher and leave you hanging high and dry. That's the reason why sometimes I know men think that getting a quick fix is going to really help them, but honestly it's not, because you can really fix yourself from a sexual level. And I'm not talking about jacking off. I'm talking about putting that creative energy into something else instead of a woman, because sometimes your last resort it needs to be a woman. Sometimes your last resort of having sex in a way of life, she needs to be your last, because there's so many other things that you can be doing with your sexual energy other than having sex. As in with me, for example, I stopped having sex for a while now. It's been over a year. It's going on a year and a half. Now, I used to be a sex addict, right? A big time freak or whatever. So once I decided to cut that out of my life, all of my businesses started shooting through the roof. Now, I didn't know that that's what's going to happen, but the thing is, all that energy, it was crazy amounts of energy. I would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I still do it. I still wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just like, it's like bussing on all of your work, like all that sexual energy. Now it's like, bam, 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 all the time. And but what I'm saying is, I think men feel like they can't do that for themselves. But it's true though, you can, because I'm a woman and I stopped doing it. Will this same thing that I'm doing for myself improve a man instead of pumping and dumping and putting that gold sack energy into women that don't even, you know what? I feel like sometimes women don't even deserve some of the gold sack these men be giving them, because they taking it and they and then you get nothing in return of the deal. Like I said, it's not to bash women, but I know what women do to these men, especially when they have that high ass, that powerful energy. Because women when they see that energy, you know what they want to do? They be like, give it. I want it. Give it to me.
Precious.
Precious. It don't even have to do nothing to do with money. It's the power, because they feel the energy like, I want what the fuck you have, so I can improve myself. So tell me a little bit without going too deep into your video that you had on your YouTube about the no fap and holding in semen and all that stuff about holding from women. Like, what does it do for a man? Because I can tell you from my point of view as a woman, but I need you to, coming from a man, what this can do for you, and not just me talking out my ass because I'm doing it. Tell me from a spiritual level how it can help the man boost his self up from holding them, from pumping and dumping into women.
So without going too deep, I'm gonna break it down in an expedited way. So what happens is this: when a man is able to hold his nut, he's able to start to cultivate his own sexual energy. Because what happens is, as a man, you're already a male. You're polarized as a male. But what happens is, you don't know on an occult level. This is why that new age is different than the occult. On an occult level, your semen is your feminine energy.
Feminine, and that's not no gay shit either.
Exactly.
Briefly, before you go into that, touch on that, because I need y'all to understand, every person has male and female energy. It has nothing to do with no gay stuff. So
and that's why it's so important to teach people about sex, because sex is in everything. So everybody's masculine and feminine. What you are is you're polarized to like the opposite sex, right? So you're polarized to like the opposite sex. But on the occult level, this is why people got to understand this shit is deep. The whole universe is feminine. This is everybody ready? We gonna go on some,
just a little bit. Don't go too deep. Don't go too deep.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
So the masculine is the opposite of the feminine, but it's the masculine counterpart of the feminine, which is structure. So when you operate from understanding that your semen is cultivating your feminine energy, your creative energy, your spiritual energy, they're all the same things. When you withhold from spilling it out, now you start to operate on a level where I can build my life up the way I want to. Why? Because now, if I was to bust in somebody, that creates a baby. But if I retain this energy and I start busting mentally, because everything is mental, if I start busting in this universe, what do I want to create? Because I have the gold sack sauce, baby. You feel me? Now I can start to create things and start to implement things. Why? Because the feminine energy is also what? Cycles. So you're starting to understand timing better. You start to understand the way things flow better and being in the moment better. Why? Because now you are creating from a place where the primordial energy is normal. Creative energy is chaos. So now you're able to be the vessel, tuning in, bringing things to fruition in this universe. Now, a woman is always going to be the distraction outside of the male for a reason. Remember, this is high level science. We're talking about men being able to understand that your purpose is very important. Why? One, you're commissioned by the universe, which is the feminine, to be a builder and do something here. Ooh, they ain't ready for that. So you got purpose. Now, who doesn't love to have fun, have sex, and all this stuff? Who doesn't? But the reason why the women will chase you is they'll see, hold up, he got a light, he got a glow about him. What's that glow? What is that?
Especially if they see that glow, stupid strong, they're gonna be like,
yes. And that happens when you are purpose driven and you're focused fully. This is why they always say, you know, women love men. And this is what we'll talk about hypergamy and everything too. We got
later on.
So we're gonna go to the
okay.
So this is where you start to get tested even more, because now you're on your purpose. If you're on your purpose, doing things that make you feel happy and fulfilled, which is chasing your dreams and goals, everything after that starts to pretty much distract you a little bit to get you to stay on your purpose if you are. And the more you can be sexually disciplined, the more you're going to be able to sit back and realize that the more that I'm sexually disciplined, it can benefit me when I want it to benefit me, when I want to fuck off, when I want to. Not when I'm being manipulated or led by my own body in lower urges, which is still primal and animalistic, which is all good. But when you can sit here and have willpower and discipline, then we'll go into that about that later, because that also goes back to you understanding detachment and being able to detach from that. And that takes willpower. Yeah. We giving y'all some game. We got some more for y'all, man. Yeah, but that's hard.
Yeah, man. I mean, fellas, what you say, Brett, if you're not doing, you won't be dreaming. Yeah, I mean, honestly, here's the thing that I know that for a lot of men get distracted by women out here, and I understand. We're beautiful creatures. We're sexy. We have all of our aroma going, smelling like yams and sweet honey bliss. And you got the ass and you got the titties. Shout out to Daniel Goldsack gang.
Gang. Salute,
listen,
family.
I understand how these women are like the and the honey to your sugar iced tea, but at the end of the day, gentlemen, most women out here are not here to elevate you to be the man you're supposed to be and to be on your higher purpose. I know, I've hanged around a lot of women. I'm not that type. I'm always into putting energy back into men, because that's just how I am. The majority of women are not like me. They're not going to sit here and they're not going to tell you that they're trying to get that golden energy that you have, that you were, a lot of y'all are born with that shit and you don't even fucking know it. And so what I'm saying is, most women are not even for y'all, for real. Most women are here to drain you, whether it be your pockets, whether it be your energy, whether it be from your purpose. A lot of men would be where they need to be if they stop focusing on women and getting ass and worried about their purpose. Not even worrying, but focusing on yourself. Because guess what? Women are gonna be here all day and all night, okay? We gonna be here. But you and your purpose, everybody's born in this world with a timetable, with a scale. You don't know when you gonna leave. So you don't wanna wake up one day fucking with all these hoes, and then one day you wake up be like, what did I do with my life? All I did was pump and dumping these bitches all day and all night. Excuse me for cursing, but for real, that's what it is out here. This is what it is. Like, y'all not on your purpose. Y'all not on your grind. Y'all too busy chasing ass out here, and it's hurting you everywhere, everywhere. So I'm telling you, from a woman's point, to chill. Like, leave them alone. They always gonna be there. And when you on your grind and on your purpose, women will chase you. You ain't got to chase no woman when you got the light. You got all the power. You become the walking steak, and they are the potatoes trying to be on your plate. You know what I'm saying? But for real, like,
nah, that's real. That's the realest. See, they loving it. They loving it. Salute. What's up, Sal? Universe. I see everybody jumping this motherfuckers. Appreciate you, Daniel. Appreciate everybody jumping in the super chat. Hey, man, salute. It's a lot of good energy when you put that towards understanding this simple dynamic. That life